There's just so much good content here. I know it.
All right, let's roll.
Nice.
Put in my brain boosting, like nootropics.
I would love if those were just Tic Tacs. And he was just like, "Let me use my happy pills." It's like, bro, those are just Tic Tacs. Doesn't mean they can't be happy pills.
I was trying to.
That was the last one.
Yep.
Okay, good.
Sorry to be so dramatic.
So is that like a dip pouch? You just let it sit in the corner of your mouth, or
It's
like gum? Are you chewing that?
Nah, you can. Some people are crazy. It's the Zens. I'm sure it's going to do something horrible to my teeth, and it's on my downward trend of not using any nicotine because it's. We looked up Sebastian. He was talking about like I stole a cigarette, and he's like, dude, no wonder you got a nicotine like buzz from it. You haven't been smoking cigarettes or anything, and then it's like, well, the Zins are like 6 milligrams. I'm like, yeah, but what's a cigarette? And we looked at it, it's like 14.
Twice
So,
as much.
Yeah, no, my knees are shaking and everything. But yeah, no, it's just like you can leave them in there for a while. They don't give you like a crazy buzz, but it's just like you can forget about them and then you don't feel the urge, so you go longer, and longer without wanting anything.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, it's a lot better than vaping too. It's all because vaping, if you remember, that used to be the thing.
Yeah.
It was like, hey, you vape and then you can like wind down or wean off of it, and then you quit. And now look at us.
Yeah. I was with AJ the other day, and he's watching some news about vaping.
Oh no.
And he does his thing, and we're just chilling, having a good time. And then the announcer goes, "Vaping can actually lead to your dick shrinking and having softer erections." He was like, "Oh no, I gotta stop. I gotta cut this out." And so 3 days later, he was vaping again, and I was like, "I guess he's just got enough. Like, I guess he's got enough dick. Like, I don't.
If he's got something to spare, man. I mean,
I guess so. That's what it is."
I've heard so many things. It is funny with us men and banana men that anything as soon as it starts affecting our member, our small horn, our insert whatever like nickname you want to give it. It's like, all right, mostly, and that's how you know if you're addicted. It's like, dude, your dick is going to fall off.
Yep.
I mean, but I like the way it feels.
Right?
Well, a friend of mine, he like, oh my god, like he's so addicted. He has like, he will literally have 3 vapes on him at one time.
Okay.
Because one might run out of batteries, the second one might get burnt up and taste bad, and so he's always got a backup. And I just had to say, look at your life. Look at your life right now.
That is wild.
Yeah.
Remember back in the day, I feel like people used to build their vapes.
Yeah.
Like it was like it was a whole modular process. You got to get the right coil and the battery.
It became a whole thing.
Like it was a thing. And then all of a sudden, convenience. It's mass produced. They freaking, what do they call it? Ronald McDonald did. They just made it too simple and you just pass it down.
Too easy.
Yeah.
I mean, shamelessly, I will say I did that for a little bit.
There's no shame in that.
Oh, there's a lot.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, there is. You should be.
I thought you had a hobby. I don't know.
Well, it's like smoking becoming your hobby. Like cigars, maybe. Like that's got some social acceptability to it. I guess. Seabass. You just look. See that.
Like to hold big things in your hand.
I like big round things.
As
in my
he's
mouth.
like touching the mic, he's like, "What are you talking about?"
But I mean, it was just crazy because it was. Oh, you got to get this coil. It's got this like thing about it that makes it burn at a certain and then you got to get this thing. It was like building a freaking car. And I mean, the worst part was the juice. Like you had to go get the juice in these giant bottles.
Yep.
And then you'd refill them. And I remember, just like back when those were just coming out, where the rules hadn't caught up to the technology, and people could just use them. And it was like, I'm not smoking. Yeah, you're not smoking, but now the whole room smells like unicorn, Mountain Dew, cotton candy.
That's
so,
right.
Please stop.
It's not a fire hazard. Yeah, but it's just this is your breath.
It's inconsiderate.
You're blowing it into my child's face, sir.
Yeah. Oh, bro. Yeah. I mean, ooh, I wonder, like, because women probably breastfeed and are vaping at the same time.
I'm
You know,
sure they did.
I'm sure they still. There's someone out there right now that's doing it.
Watching this episode.
I hope. I mean, I'll take them. We're taking everybody at this point.
Oh my gosh! All right, so let me just go ahead and steer this way.
Oh,
'cause I
yes.
feel like this is the only time.
I was going to try to steer back to your original question about how it felt to be like.
We're gonna get there.
Okay.
But since we're here,
We're here.
all right. So you know how the normal gene expression is like lactose intolerance, and if you can drink milk, then you're like a mutant.
Is that? I thought that was a default.
No, yeah. Default is lactose intolerance.
I thought it was the opposite.
No.
What?
Yeah.
I'm a freak.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
Thanks.
Yeah. Honestly, in the exact same vein, so I wonder if it comes to like breast milk, if somebody who's lactose intolerant drinks breast milk, does it have the same effect?
I think that's why I thought like being lactose intolerant was the differentiator, like because everyone. Well, I also learned that not everyone can breastfeed or their child.
Yeah, I know I can.
That woman's same.
Yeah.
But that's why I thought it's like we all, as infants, we get breast milk or formula and stuff, and I'm like, it's like that's wow, okay, learning.
Yeah, but would you if somebody was like, "Here you go. Do you want some breast milk with your coffee?" Would you be like, "I'll try it"?
If it was my wife, I'm definitely getting a squeeze.
That's fair.
Like she walks by, Tata's hanging out. Psst, thanks, babe.
A drop? You're getting like a drop?
Whatever-
I
whatever
don't
a
even
s-
know what would
Whatever
come
a
out.
handful is gonna do, but yeah, I mean, because that's just like, why not? It's your wife.
That's fair.
It's like somebody's gotta be. I wish someone would comment. It's like the reasons you should not do that. Just
Yeah, no, that would be nice, but I don't think anybody's gonna say anything. If anything, this might encourage the behavior. I want somebody to like try it and then comment like, "It tasted like chicken marsala." Like we had that 2 days ago, and it's an exact translation. I'd love that.
wow, that.
Yeah.
I mean, oof, that would definitely encourage that behavior if it tastes like chicken
It would.
marsala.
It would.
But I mean, dude, it's crazy. I mean, have you ever seen the guys that do like the powerlifting? They sometimes if they get a bad batch of steroids or they do too much, like they can actually get like they can start.
Yeah, it was like a side effect. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. You can see it in like UFC fighters. Sometimes they end up like getting a puffy nipple or something like that. And you're
Yeah,
like,
some of them
damn.
actually will lactate,
Mm.
and I'm just like, that's some protein right there.
That's somebody who I don't want to fight.
That's some protein.
I never want to fight somebody who's lactating.
Oh, that's another male that is lactating.
Male or female? Whoa there, my guy. Anybody who's lactating, I'm really not trying to put hands on.
That's fair. It's just it's probably lose. That's
Yeah.
just I can't see it. Like even if you win, it's like, but at what cost?
Right?
But
It's like, imagine this. Like if we're fighting and you punch me in the stomach and I throw up on you, you're more mad at me, even though you caused that.
it's like I thought I was going to win this, and now I'm just there's no winning at this point. I'm still going to go home and clean this, and
Mhm.
you kind of win
Right?
because and if it stains my shirt
Sheesh.
and I like that shirt, I can
Yeah.
never use that shirt again.
That's right.
Or even if I buy the same exact shirt over, and it's like getting like a scar on your face, like from a fight, and you just know that one dude fucked you up,
Yeah.
and it's just like,
That fight automatically ends in a tie. It's like, yeah, you could have beat me up, but because I threw up on you, it's like, bro, I don't feel like I won. There's no victory there.
there's no victory in this. Oh my god! But yeah, man. So I did some prep for this,
Ooh.
for the return of Banana Man.
Ooh.
I went ahead and I looked up a couple things because new year, brand new Banana Man. I had to look up some banana facts.
Oh, snap.
Like the first one that I came across.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know when bananas, your namesake, actually got the title banana?
Like the English name or just any?
Yeah, like the fruit, like banana became like, oh, that's a banana.
No, in 1876.
Yes, that's correct.
No, it's not, dude. There's no way.
The 1876 Philadelphia World Fair. He's unstoppable. That was a nat 20, dude. I was like, how did he was more prepared than I thought.
I am Banana Man.
I should have. Yeah. Oh yeah, they're sold for 10 cents at the 1876 Philadelphia World Fair, and they were wrapped in aluminum for some reason. Yeah, dude, that was clutch. I'm just blown away. You just threw a number out there. I was like, son of a bitch, that's correct,
Mm. Wow. Life is awesome.
dude. I'm just. Oh my god. For $5,000.
Oh my gosh. Dude, what's the next one? Let me know.
How many? Okay, I swear to God. How many different variations of bananas are growing around the world?
Oh my gosh.
Just
You know,
best guess.
that's like I want to say 7, but 23 feels right.
There's 50 groups. They are
Okay.
subdivided into what is calculated to 1,000 different varieties.
Oh wow.
So you got 1,000 like family members.
I got cousins.
You got cousins on cousins. Another good one I found. Where was it? This is kind of funny. Alicia Keys, Adele, and Katy Perry all require them as backstage snacks for probably the potassium.
I guess so.
So I mean, you're well liked by a lot of very talented ladies.
Yeah. I like to. Yeah, that makes sense.
I mean, the ladies love Banana Man.
I
can't
think
blame
so.
'em.
You know, it just depends where you are because not everywhere it turns out.
Where could you? I've been with you in a lot of very fun party situations, and it's always been well received.
In America.
Ooh,
Yeah, I took this down to St. Kitts,
oh no.
and although people were very supportive, they were like, "Yeah, you're a banana." To the festivities that I went to dressed as a banana, nobody wanted to dance with me, and I was like, what's going on, AJ? And AJ was like, well, typically, the more menacing you look, the more willing they are to dance with you. So I was like, I should have been shirtless wearing a Pooh Shiesty mask and would have significantly different results.
My
He-
God.
Yeah. So that's what that was. Look at that.
I mean, but St. Kitts, like, I mean, correct me if I'm wrong. It's part of the Caribbean or
Mhm.
the Caribbean. I mean, that's one of their main, like, I feel like tropical places, bananas.
You'd think so, but no.
Man.
Yeah, no. Bananas is like fruits as a whole. They're all about it. People as fruits, no.
Technically, I learned this as I was researching this for the Return of Banana Man. Banana's scientifically a berry.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like, it makes sense, but it's kind of like, how those people will say a tomato's technically a fruit.
Yeah.
It's just like, it might be, you might be right, but I don't like it.
Yeah, it makes you uncomfortable.
Like, it should just stand alone, be a banana.
Mm-hmm.
But, it's a berry. I'm sure you knew this one. I remember finding this out a couple years back. Just most primates peel bananas upside down. We're like the only ones that peel it from the top.
Yeah, from the wrong way.
Yeah, it's the wrong way. I mean, like, and it does work better.
It
and,
does.
and you get rid of that little bit at the end that everyone like doesn't want to eat anyway.
That's fair. Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
So I'm like,
Unless you're super new age and you're like, you know what? I'm gonna put this in my face cream. I'm gonna take it. I'm gonna mix it up with some oats. I'm gonna put some avocado oil in here. Yeah. I'm gonna put this in my hair.
oh my God, here's a fun one. Around 33.7 grams of banana per person per day are consumed in the United States alone. That's pretty cool, I guess. So around a pound and three 1/3 of fruit daily. I feel like that's low. I feel like
For fruits or for bananas?
for bananas specifically.
I
I mean, between smoothies, like I eat banana peanut butter sandwich.
That's true.
I mean, that's a great like a post workout meal for me. I love it. Like I'm a peanut butter whore. Like
Yeah, I mean, 'cause you can though.
I mean,
I love that.
oh yeah, because I can. Sorry,
Yeah.
all my peanut allergy folks. It's okay.
It's all right.
See, and then bananas. I didn't know this about bananas. They produce asexually because it's a sterile species.
You know that?
So you can just be in it.
I can just make more of me. That's it.
He will never die.
That's right.
The banana man will live forever.
I'm always on. No one else is up next.
Oh my gosh. But yeah. So yeah, there's some fun banana facts. I'm still just can't get over that you just nailed like
Yeah.
1876.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
It felt right for whatever reason. That was the first thing, and I was like,
It was just clutch.
this is it.
Oh my God. But for just I'm kind of talking more about St. Kids, like you told me once it's kind of really it's not necessarily like a touristy spot, right?
Oh no, it is.
It is.
It is.
But I feel like it's not like mainstream. It's kind of like, oh yeah, it's part of the tourism industry, but is it more like, what would you describe it as? More like a place people will go that kind of want to just have that experience, but not like all the fanfare of like a big touristy spot, or
I consider it to be so like their major source of money is tourism, and it became that way since essentially like producing sugar was no longer profitable.
okay.
So like back in the days, Britain was like, yo, the best sugar comes from St. Kitts. Like A plus, that premium white.
You want that premium sugar?
St. Kitts. It's so good. The Queen actually came down to St. Kitts and like visited. And that's why.
Yeah, there's a stamp of approval.
Yeah. So for my family, they're like, yeah, we love Queen Elizabeth, man. She got it. 'Cause she was here. She had boots on the ground here.
Boots on the ground.
Yeah, but after a while, it didn't make sense, and St. Kitts had the option to either, hey, you could produce more sugar by switching to, I guess like this different. There was they were able to get machines in there, but it would lose jobs, and it's not necessarily like helping their economy. So they're like, forget it. We're gonna leave all this sugarcane out here. We're switching to tourism. We're gonna do it. And it's been working out because it's like really beautiful and the people are nice and it's a fairly safe space. It's less safe now, just kind of like everywhere in the world.
It goes up and down, yeah.
But one of the fun things that I had learned is the government pays the gangs
What?
because if the gangs have money, then they're not gonna go out and commit as much crime. So it's like that's one way to solve crime. I personally, not a gangster, I'm a banana. I like outside of the box situations like that. Like, that's what's up. Like, here in America, they'd be like, oh, that's just the reparations. And it's like, well, everybody's black out there, so there's no reparations to be had. But, another fun thing. All of the all of the native people from St. Kitts no longer on St. Kitts.
What?
Yeah.
Not like there's not one like family that's like been there for generations. Not even just a cousin like coming back and forth.
Like the native people, and shame on me for forgetting their names, but the native people left because of France and Britain. Yeah. So this country, St. Kitts, was actually shared by France and Britain, and they were coexisting pretty peacefully. And they're like, "Oh no, this sugar, it's too good." Britain was like, "Get out." And France
Get
was
out
like,
of here.
"Make me." And Britain was like, "I'm so glad you asked.
I was waiting for you to
I
say
was
that.
waiting for you to say that."
Make my day.
And so that's essentially what happened. So then, but anyways, they also heard that the native people were gonna revolt. So snitches be snitching, and literally, so there's no rivers in St. Kitts, but once the British heard of this possible uprising, they killed so much of the native people that they have like guts, and what guts are is like when it does rain, water will come down there, and so like these little rivers like pop up, but they're not actually rivers. They're just guts.
Overflows,
Yeah. That they killed so many of the native people that it was just running red with blood for like days, and so there's like a specific gut that's just called bloody gut, and you're just like that's crazy.
That is crazy,
Yeah.
man. And were you there for Christmas, New Year's, or both?
Yeah. It's like carnival season, but yeah, Christmas, and I always come back here on New Year's because got to spend time in church on New Year's.
Yeah, oh, dude.
But yeah, it's lit.
Man, New Year's on a Sunday. Like me, I've been trying to get my soul, back on the good path and stuff. Just been a little more active in church, and it was Christmas Eve on a Sunday was like without it's weird to say because in churches it's Christmas and Easter. Those are the two Super Bowls of the year.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I really say Easter was probably the Super Bowl because that's the comeback story, and then Christmas is just like the national championship, I guess.
Inauguration?
Maybe
I don't know.
Inauguration probably sounds better, but there's nothing quite like a church party, man.
Mm-hmm.
Like if you go in there with the right mentality, you will have fun.
Exactly.
Like contrary to popular belief, you can have a ton of fun completely sober.
Yes.
Like it is, and that's one I heard. I can't remember where I heard it from, but I mean, I want to say it was like Jordan Peterson or one of those like really, intelligent people
Mm-hmm.
just going around on the interwebs, and they were just going on about, well, if you need alcohol to have fun at what you're doing, is it really that fun?
Right.
Or is there, are you going around with the right mentality?
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, you know, I've been definitely been on the sober train for a while now, so I'm trying not to be that guy that's, thank you. It's like, I'm trying not to be that guy that's, oh, you guys are drinking. Like, I'm not trying to look down my nose at people that, because I mean, it's like, dude, I've been blackout drunk before. It's like, I've been where, like, I get it. I'm just on the other side of that train right now, just trying to do things differently.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, and got a head start on trying to make that the 2024 like thing. Like looking back, and then also playing in bars now.
Yeah.
Oh, bro, I got some crazy stories.
Yeah.
Like there's just, I mean, I won't name the place
Please don't.
because I do appreciate the people. They've been really good to us there,
And we want sponsors.
and we want, well, yeah. I
All
mean,
right.
we want sponsors. That's correct.
Sponsors.
I just that'd be funny. One specific small bar that just sponsors it. I mean, hey guys, how's I'm not. I'm just saying.
Mm-hmm.
But not to their, and it's not to their own fault, but just the clientele and the people that were coming in there, they were just doing some unsavory things,
Mm-hmm.
and the last gig we had there got canceled.
Oh.
And like I said, it wasn't anything that the establishment did. It was not their fault. It was just, and thankfully, from what I understand, it was just a slip, a freak accident. Just someone slipped and fell
Oh.
outside,
Oh.
and someone didn't stumble upon them until like a while later. And then the ambulance and the fire truck showed up,
Mm-hmm.
and they left. And then the bartender said, "We're closed."
There you go.
And yeah, that was New Year's Eve.
Oh. Okay.
So it wasn't like the New Year's Eve, like New Year's Eve party, because that would have been a downer. But man, it was just crazy because the thing I took away from that, like I said, the establishment, the venue, not their fault. Like these things happens. They did the right thing on their part. That's like, hey, let's out of respect, like something terrible happened. But then there were still some people there that were like, nah, man, let's open this thing up and let's get drinking. Come on, it's about to be New Year's. Let's do it.
Mm-hmm.
And like the bartenders are crying because they saw like someone get hurt really bad.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, I understand. All due respect. But just I had to go back into that mentality of some people. This is their community.
Yeah.
That local watering hole where they see the same people every week because they're working hard, they're doing their jobs, a lot of hard labor jobs. Yeah, dude, on a Friday, Saturday night, you work, 60 hours a week.
Mm-hmm.
You deserve a day or two where you can go cut loose. No disrespect, completely understandable. But Jesus Christ, man, just when everyone's all, what, what, Seabass? You just, for those listening, he's just shaking his head, just rubbing his eyebrows, just like,
You're killing me today, Smalls.
oh, okay. Get ready. But yeah, it was just insane, and I mean, like,
I can't even be mic'd up to tell you.
you're coming through pretty good. You just got to speak up, say it with your chest.
Then I feel like I'm yelling at everyone upstairs and in this other rooms.
They'll live.
It's okay.
Let's go.
Let's go, send it. But yeah, it was just, oh my god, and the turnaround from that was that we went to this really, really insanely nice place that I will name because it's awesome. High Hampton in North Carolina.
Okay.
Beautiful place.
Oh, I saw that on your snap. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh
yeah.
my God. I've never felt like I was such a VIP. Like, oh, you're the band? Okay, cool. Let's get you checked in. Here's the golf cart service to run all your stuff around. And then what was really clutch is Jaden, my bass player in that band, him and his wife and the guitar player and his girlfriend, they were like, hey, like, is there any comp rooms? I was like, that wasn't a part of the deal originally. Like, we're kind of, they're paying us really well. So it's like, we can figure out something. But then, when they looked into it and asked about it, it's like, hey, is there any kind of deal we can get or something we're willing to pay a little bit, just to kind of so we can have something. They're like, well, we got this one cabin that didn't get rented out. The cabin goes for $4,500 a night. The cabin was nicer than my house.
Oh my gosh.
It had this beautiful fireplace in the main area, and then the master bedroom had a fireplace. All four of the bedrooms had their own bathrooms. I took a dump in one, and I felt bad because I was like, "This is too nice. I shouldn't be taking a dump in here."
Oh my gosh.
And oh my god, the members and everybody there took such great care of us. They were awesome and nailed. Not to pat my own back too hard. I'm not trying to break my arm patting my back here,
Okay.
but Like the general manager Steve, he was awesome, took great care of us, and he's like, hey, just like 10 minutes before I want to get up, do a quick little speech, do his due diligence as the the guy, and he gets in there and he talks, and everyone's like hooping and hollering and stuff with him, and then it's like he gives the mic back to me, and it's 8 minutes till New Year's, and everyone's looking at me like, what are we gonna do for 8 minutes? How are we gonna nail this countdown?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what came over me, but I just decided we're playing Country Roads. Take me home.
Oh yeah.
Everyone was, very lively, very well, inebriated at that point, and we were wailing it. And then I looked, and we had the TV that had the countdown on it in New York. The big, everyone watches the ball drop in New York and whatnot. And we played Country Roads for like 7 minutes, and then right as and I keep looking back at the TV, and then we nail it. We get it right at like 15 seconds. I'm like, all right, guys, let's do this. Count it down. Everyone starts going nuts, and then we for our first song of the year, we decided to play "I Gotta Feel It."
Oh man.
Black Eyed Peas. Everyone went crazy.
Yes.
So I mean, it was perfect. We looked like true professionals. Like we had it all planned out, flying by the seat of our pants. But with me and the boys, we did it, man. It was great. And then, the best part was everyone cleared out at like 12:30. We were done.
Oh wow.
Yeah, we were scheduled to play till 1. We were ready to play till 1.
Right.
But everyone's like, we're good. We want to go. We
That
want to
was
go to bed.
enough.
We want to go to bed.
Take me home.
Oh, Country Roads. But yeah, man. Have you ever been to North Carolina?
I have. Yeah. I've had some fun times, and we have a friend that's up there.
AJ or who?
Kenny.
Andy?
Kenny.
Oh yeah, Kenny.
Yeah.
Oh my God, yeah, the chef extraordinaire.
That's right.
Oh my God, what
that guy?
I'm trying to remember his restaurant right now.
It's closed. Doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter. Never
Yeah.
mind. Moving
He got
on.
a new one, but I don't know the name of it.
Yeah, I mean,
We're gonna find out.
Kenny, maybe have to get him on here if he comes through town again. Talk about being a chef.
It would
man.
be hilarious. That man has stories for months.
Yeah, well, that we'll put a very explicit warning on that episode.
Gonna need to.
Gonna need to, 'cause it's gonna be good. But yeah, I just forgot how pretty the mountains were, dude.
Oh.
Like just driving through the mountain roads. Which what's funny is I'm just driving, trying to like be cautious and stuff. And there's people behind me like trying to get like riding my butt, trying to make me go faster because they got a trailer and all this stuff. And it's New Year's Eve, so it's like everyone's got to be somewhere. But I'm like, bro, do you see the like 400-foot drop in that like rusted piece of like metal that's supposed to protect me? Like I am not. And then I always get super cautious about my brakes giving out on mountain roads because you're going down and just.
No, you just got a Fred Flintstone in at that point in time. You just punch your legs
through the
floor and stop your car. That's why you do squats.
Exactly. That's why, not just for glutes, but also just to stop your car when need be. Which I saw. Are you familiar with the show Reacher on Amazon?
No, is that what that guy that goes out and kills people?
He kills a lot of people. That's correct. But it's he's the good guy. You know, but it's a great show. It's definitely a meathead show. But one of the things that I watched a scene out of there that I was like, oh, I gotta get back and do some squats. He was getting tailed by someone that we didn't know if he was a good guy, bad guy, but he's just, hey, why is that guy following us? And it's like, I don't know, I'm gonna go ask him. And he walks up, and the guy's trying to get out of the car. He's like, whoa, 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 trying to get his seatbelt undone. And Reacher, the main character, just like kicks the front of his car and makes the airbag deploy.
Oh my gosh!
And I'm like, that was badass. I don't even know that's like actually feasibly possible.
I think it is.
It's I'd like to believe.
Yeah.
But it was just so cool. I'm like, I gotta get my legs back in shape, man.
You might already be able to do that.
I mean, we got maybe go to a junkyard, try this out. Just find like an old Corolla and just
making sure that the airbags are not already deployed. But I like that. I like that.
We can make it happen. But yeah, man, it's like, and just looking at you, you look like a mean, lean banana right now, brother.
Thank you. All I've had to do is lose fat. Turns out the muscle was usually there, but once it starts melting off, I was like, oh, okay, cool. There's like veins now. I'm like vascular. Oh, okay, that's nice.
Very.
Mm-hmm.
Did you change up, like, was it just diet or did you change up the workout? Like,
man, I followed your diet. I followed, oh my gosh, what do we call? Followed Oz's diet as well.
Yeah.
Just cutting out a lot of the carbs.
Yeah.
And that ended up being it. And I didn't realize how big of a deal that was for other people. For me, I can basically eat the same thing every day and be like, "Oh, this is fine. Yeah,
it's
whatever.
fuel.
This is fuel." As soon as you tell people, "Oh, I cut out carbs," they're like, "All right, cool. What are carbs?" I'm like, "Oh yeah, like rice and pasta and bread. And they're like, dude, what are
How-
you?
How do you do that?
That's all I eat. It's like, yeah. Probably explains why you look like that.
I mean, I've been trying to stick on more of like the closer to the carnivore diet, just eating like a lot of chicken, meat, fish, and stuff, and I feel like a lot better, like a lot more energy,
Mm-hmm.
but also a lot more aggressive.
You feel more aggressive?
Aggressive? I'm just so aggressive. I'm like, whoa, calm down.
Is that because of the diet, or is that because you've made other lifestyle changes?
It could be just being more sober. That it's definitely nothing to kind of calm me down, but I mean,
Yeah.
I'm gonna put it towards the I'm just all yacked up on like protein and testosterone and meat. Like
Okay.
I'm just, but like,
He's a living manic stress ball.
oh my god,
That's
look,
right.
just because I get manic and just start doing 100 things at the same time and then get none of them done doesn't mean I'm a manic.
Did I ever tell you about the time I had dinner with Mormons? Did I tell you about that? I feel like I did.
Go on.
All right, cool. So, story time.
Story time.
So it was all a good story. Started out, I was playing Pokemon Go in Piedmont Park, and so playing Pokemon Go, and I'm walking in this gym, and these two gentlemen that are wearing black pants, white shirt, same color tie, they walk up to me and they say, "Hey, do you want to talk about our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ?" And I say, "Of course.
That's
I-
my guy.
That's my guy. I was literally talking to him like 2 days ago about meeting more people to talk about him with, So I'm like, that's perfect. But here's the thing. You got to follow me to this gym over here. This raid's about to start. It's very important. And they're like, all right, sure. So next thing you know, a clipboard appears in their hands, and they hand it to me, and it's all these questions about Jesus, about our Lord and Savior. And I'm like going in, and I'm writing, and clipboard's about yay big. And they start going over the questions with me, and I'm like, oh man, yeah. Oh man, yeah, that's a good point. Oh yeah, I didn't even think about that. Good job. And I'm like, gold star for me. Thank you, Jesus.
buddy.
And they say, hey, do you want to talk to us some more? And I'm like, absolutely, I do. And they say, do you want to do it here or in Snellville? And I was like, in Snellville, what? I don't want to come back out here.
Yeah, I mean Piedmont to Snellville. That's
Yeah,
a
yeah,
bit of a trek.
Yeah. I just don't want to. So, anyways, as you guys know, Mormons come, and if you don't know, they come in same-sex pairs because it's harder to sin with someone that you're not supposed to be attracted to, I guess.
I
That's-
mean, in one way, I could imagine I could find plenty of other sinful
Yeah.
things to do with my bros.
yeah. But
But,
yeah, again,
fair point.
Church of the Latter-day Saints, they're doing their research. So I end up meeting with these two, and I was probably like 22 at that time.
Mm-hmm.
But the two sisters that are there, there was one that was like 19, one that was 18. Turns out the 19-year-old and I shared the same birthday.
Nice.
So we've met for a couple of weeks, talked. Everything's doing great. We're talking about Jesus, talking about the Bible. We're talking about the Book of Mormon. Everything's cool. And I'm just like, okay, some of this stuff's making sense. But, I mean, side note, it just seems like Mormons are like Christians on hard mode. That's just what it seemed like to me.
I mean, that's a pretty. The more, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, like so much so, like when they take communion, like no, forget grape juice. We water, only water and bread, and it's like not grape juice. Yeah, that could be alcohol, but it's grape juice. Water. So I respect it. Like, hey, cool. Do your thing. Do your thing. So we go out to eat sushi. Both of these young ladies are from Utah. You know what they really don't have out there in their area of Utah? Sushi.
Oh man.
You know what's questionable in Snellville?
Sushi.
Sushi. That's right. So, of course, we get some sushi. Now, one girl doesn't eat sushi. I'm like, that's fine. There's other food here. I can guarantee you there's other food.
Yeah.
We show up. She's like, I'm not hungry. I already ate. And I'm like, bro, I'm glad. You know what? You don't have to believe me.
It's okay.
And the other girl, she sits down, and she's one of those sushi eaters too where she's like, yeah, I'll have a California roll, and I'll have an avocado roll.
That doesn't count.
And I'm like, why don't you try something different? Why don't you
Try
actually
some
branch out?
sashimi, man.
I was like, why don't you try some unagi?
Yeah.
And she's like, ooh, unagi, what's that?
Nigiri, maybe.
And I was like, it's eel. She goes, ew. So they're both making their faces at this point in time. I'm like, okay, let's play this game. I go,
Get the squid.
no, first of all, It's delicious. You haven't even tried it. And honestly, I'm under the impression, and I truly am, that things with faces taste good. You know, that's just kind of a rule of thumb for me. And so they're like, all right. And they start buying into it. And I'm like, all right, I got them hooked. You know, like, under the right circumstance, I would try a person. Exactly. Yeah. No,
Just knowing you, I love this.
their jaws dropped. And before they could freak out, I'm like, whoa, whoa, whoa. Under the right circumstance. Let's really think about this, right? If I'm gonna eat a person, I need to eat the healthiest kind of person because we, as apex predators, eating as much junk as we eat, you can't just eat anybody.
Correct.
The healthiest person to eat is what, Jared?
I mean,
That's right, a baby. But you can't eat a baby. You know why you can't eat a baby?
because it belongs to somebody.
Because you don't have consent. You don't have consent. So we need to find a healthy person that'll give you consent. So my arbitrary line in the sand is a vegan for at least 10 years. I don't know why it's double digits. It just felt right in my soul. When I asked myself what sort of person would I feel comfortable eating, 7 wasn't enough years
No.
of being a vegan. 10 years, I was like, you're in this. You're true to this. You're living by it.
I've heard a really terrible term when someone's making a joke. It's like anything after 12 is lunch, and in this case,
Could be, yeah.
like
Right. So, next things next is a person doesn't have to die for me to eat them.
yeah. I mean,
I don't want somebody to have to lose their life.
you could just cut off a leg, right?
It could cut off honestly, it could just be some like thighs. It could be some glute. We could see what's up. So this is what I imagined it would be like. I would be in the park, Piedmont Park, playing Pokemon Go,
Well,
and some white guy, has to be white, with dreads would come up to me and say, "Hey man, my name's Starchild. Would you like to take a survey or whatever?" And of course I'd say yes, but you got to follow me over here to this Pokemon gym because the raid's about to start.
naturally.
And so our talks would go along, and it'd probably go something like, "So if you had a talking cow, would you like eat him?" To which I would say,
Yes.
"Well, if I'm hungry, then yeah. But if I'm not hungry, no, I can make way more money off of a talking cow than just, satiating my appetite."
Yeah.
And he'd say, "Yeah, man, that's like a little too much thought, but okay." But anyways, man, like cows can talk, like whether we can understand them or not, like they can talk. And I personally think if you're able to stomach one of like God's creatures that way, then you should be able to stomach all of them. And this is a weird pitch, but would you like to try some of me? And I would say, all right, sure. So of course, again, not needing to eat a whole person, all I really need, in my opinion, is 3 hamburger sliders worth a person, but like a variety.
It's
So
a
maybe
good
like
sampler. Yeah.
I think so too, like a habanero mango,
like a bicep.
a teriyaki sort of flavor, and then just like a straight up like salt and pepper rub to really to like, you know what I mean, to just experience the flavor profile
of the actual meat.
of specifically Starchild, you know.
Yeah.
And so he would prepare himself for me because I feel like that's just right. I don't know who else would. He would do that, and then I would like leave him a review on Yelp, and it would be cool. So by the end of this, they are both astounded and disgusted, and rightfully so. First of all, how dare I say I would try people? What is more disturbing is the thoughtfulness behind me trying a person.
I mean, you did ask for consent.
I did ask for consent, and I got it.
So morally, this aligns with a lot of people's morality. Yeah.
And what is the kicker in all of this? As I am looking at them, there's a waiter coming up behind me, and they're giving me that look of, "Shut up, shut."
Hey, somebody's about
Shut-
to.
don't
Yeah,
mind.
no.
So as he like walks up on us, I go, "Oh, hello, sir. You mind if I ask you a quick question?"
Oh God.
He's like, "Sure." I said, "So, if you got consent, somebody didn't have to die, and they were a vegan for 10 years, would you try a person, like, to eat them?" And he, without flinching, says, "Of course." I said, "Thank you very much. I'll take the check." Their jaws hit the floor. Like,
He's
completely
not
hit the
alone.
floor.
He's not alone.
And I like to think, in my heart of hearts, I want to say that I'm not alone. And that was just like, oh man, perfect. Like, this guy, like, that was such a sound argument that this guy agrees with me. It could just be that this guy saw another black guy messing with
2 Mormons.
2 Mormons and was like, "Oh, I'm about to get in on this, bro. I can't pass this up." But regardless, I think about that guy and I pray for him, and he's amazing. I love him so much.
Man, there's not much. Like I saw a billboard, like it was kind of like going on the vegan like train,
Hmm.
and it had like a bunch of different animals lined up, and it had like a red line, like it was. I want to say, it kind of was. It was like you had like fish, dog, cat, uh, some other small like a sheep, a horse, cow, and then like that, and like right between the horse and the stuff. That's where it's like, oh, so you eat all these animals, but you won't eat that. I'm like, bro, I'd eat a lot of animals.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I mean, with that sound argument, like, I'm not even against like the human thing. I mean, it's just like if it's like I said, consent.
Mm-hmm.
It's well prepared. We've got a variety.
Mm-hmm.
I do remember. I think I talked about it before once. There was a friend of ours on the football team back in the day who told me I would make a very good steak.
Mm.
And he's like, yeah, man, just think about like a good thigh muscle, or even like just getting like that pec, like a pec slap. I'm like, another person putting a lot more thought into this than I've ever done personally. But I mean, that's what we do with cows.
Right.
Like, you talk about like the ribeyes, like the really tender, fatty part. You got the more muscle fibrous parts that are really not tender. They're really like kind of more chewy.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, honestly, you smoke it long enough, anything could be good.
I'm just saying.
But I mean, I'd eat an elephant steak. I'd eat a zebra. I mean, I've even heard in China they have one of the common things is donkey barbecue.
Oh my gosh, I would totally eat that.
Like, I mean, like a nice like I don't want to sound uneducated, but I do a lot anyway. But like just putting it like that, like imagine like an orange chicken like donkey barbecue, or like just what the orange chicken flavor. Like,
no, I got you. Yeah.
like or a teriyaki, like
Yeah,
you're saying.
I like
just that on some donkey.
Yeah.
I'm like, man, I could eat that all day. I would. I would. I would really love to try a zebra steak. That would be so cool. And they have to leave the skin on it somehow, so I can see that it's actually a zebra.
Like Pixar didn't happen basically. Like,
Yeah.
I need to see it on here.
Yeah,
That's fair.
but I mean, if I've heard it, like, have you seen Chimp Empire, the documentary, or heard about it?
You are, dude. I had literally heard about this like 2 days ago.
Chimp Empire,
It's
yeah,
crazy.
very like very hardcore, like, and they even talk about like the chimps were eating so many of the other like smaller monkeys there. That's like what we showed on the thing was a lot
Fraction,
of it,
yeah.
a fraction. But I mean, it's like crazy that these like that's just nature.
Yep.
But I mean, I'd eat a monkey.
Yeah, yeah.
Like, I
yeah.
mean-
they serve monkey and Sankets.
Really?
I haven't got to try any yet, but yeah.
Ooh, I'd try that. I mean, I struggle to think, like, I mean, I wouldn't want to eat my own dog that I grew up, like, and stuff. But like you said, right circumstances, zombie apocalypse, my dog's right there. I'm
Mhm.
hungry.
Yeah,
I got to feed him anyway.
exactly.
Like, I'm just cutting expenses at that point. But I mean, man, an elephant would. Ooh, I wonder what an elephant would taste like.
I think the only one there's like 2 that are kind of sketchy. It's like sort of like ravens and crows, only because their meat is black. I'm like, that's kind
Really?
of sketchy, yeah. So I'd have to get over that. And then dolphins,
Why dolphins?
just because of the amount of mercury that's in their body.
That's the thing about fish. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
And I actually heard there was a disease that you can get that's not. It's because mercury's in the ocean, but like freshwater fish,
Mm.
people who live around like freshwater lakes and stuff, eat a ton of freshwater bass and other like freshwater fish. There's some kind of like mineral buildup that can happen in a lake that can cause you to have a vertigo.
Jeez.
So you can just be a normal, healthy person, but then all of a sudden it just like you get hit whatever your limit is of that mineral material, and all of a sudden you can't tell what's up or down, and you're just like
That's
sitting
tough.
there just going nuts.
That's tough.
Yeah, I mean, oof.
It's one of the upsides about like us being bigger people. Sorry, Seabass.
Sorry.
It's like the upside about us being bigger people.
He's like, are they talking to me? Hey, Seabass, real quick, could you do me a favor on my headphone volume? Just turn me down like 2%. Just a smidge. Just right there. But yeah, I mean, being bigger people.
we can eat more of these things like tuna because our bodies can hold. There's just a higher carrying capacity for it.
Yeah.
Before there's some negative ramification.
Correct.
Like if you're pregnant, they're like probably don't eat tuna.
Yeah, don't
Like
do
I think it's a bigger deal that you not eat tuna than it is if you drink alcohol. So
Yeah.
that's fun. Mercury's fun.
Well, I mean, like your question earlier about like how's it feel? Like, do you ever think about like how'd you phrase it? The about
Oh yeah. That you're stronger than the average person.
like, I mean, just the fact that I can knock out like a nice solid reps at like 225 for like 6 to 8. I'm not like I'm I've gone down a little bit. I've been slacking a little bit, but I'm getting back. It's like I remember when you and me went to the gym that one time we hit 315,
Yeah.
and I was like, dude, like what percentage of people can actually lift that much weight?
Yeah.
And I mean, I don't know. I think going back on like how people like talk about carbs and stuff, the food in America, like when I traveled abroad a few times, I'd say abroad, like I went a bunch of places. I went to Albania, Macedonia, Kosovo, and that was pretty much my traveling abroad.
That's good.
I mean, it was fun. It was a great trip, but literally eating pizza that was made from the grains in the backyard with the vegetables from the garden in the backyard and the goat that was, slaughtered probably that if not that day, like definitely within that week.
Mm-hmm.
I ate like a madman and I
Yeah.
lost weight.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
I felt better. I was able to get out and do more. I mean, the
Mm-hmm.
food in America is trying to kill us. And
It is.
you take a stroll through a Walmart,
Yeah.
there's a lot of sick people.
Yeah. Yeah. You ever you see that trend on whatever social media it is, but they'll start to read the ingredients off of the generic supply of whatever something is.
Yeah.
So you end up looking, oh, this is the generic syrup, and it's like, okay, I understand like the salt and the baking soda. Why is there like different fruits in here? Is that rubber? Why is there a rubber in here?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. But hey, it doesn't matter.
Well, I mean, I just don't understand how. Like, I mean, I do. I'm not trying to be a certain type of way, but it's just, it is hard. Like you and me have our own motivations for wanting to be strong and work out and do our things. Like one of my biggest things, I want to do a muscle up this year.
Mm.
Like I want to be able to pull myself all the way up over the bar, and
Ooh.
because my friend Joseph made a good point. It's like, are you really ready for a survival situation if you can't pull yourself over the ledge? Like if you can't, like if you're hanging for dear life, can you get up high enough to where you can swing your leg up and get your heel on the cliff side and get over and survive? Because man, dude, how many people can't do a pull up?
A lot.
A lot.
A lot of people.
And then, like I said, it's like everyone's on their own fitness journey and stuff, but it's just you got to take accountability of it.
Mm-hmm.
I just, and it's hard. I mean, one of the best things I've been doing is as I'm trying to save money, so I got rid of some of my premium channel stuff where it's like, oh, you're going to get ads.
You're not doing OnlyFans anymore?
Nah, man, it didn't get turn out as well as I thought.
Okay.
People just, they're like, you're just sitting there playing guitar in your underwear. I'm like, well, then donate.
Yeah, it's weird. It's weird. Not enough people.
But I mean, it's just like I do the commercial workouts where it's like a commercial comes on, all right, just push-ups as many as you can during this commercial break. And then I'm like, oh, that's a really interesting commercial. No, don't fall for capitalism.
There you go. There you go. I like that. I think that's one of the strongest ways of mental toughness that someone could be that's like trying to work out. Like if you were the person that works out at home with no home gym and you're busting it out, dude, to me your mental toughness is up to here.
Respect.
I'm very much so like how I treat school is how I treat the gym. Let me go to the library and study. Like I'm gonna go to the gym and I'm gonna work out. I need to be like in an environment in a dire situation. Okay, yeah, I'll work it out at my house. But if given the opportunity and the space, oh, I'm gonna go to the gym. I'm gonna have fun. Some of the time, I'm not gonna work out because I'm just gonna be talking to people because I just enjoy being here. But it's an important for the setting for me to be there. So
Yeah.
if you're over here knocking out push-ups during commercial breaks, I mean, dude, good job.
I mean, it's and it's just like I'm really taking on the mentality of just every little thing that you can do to get towards a goal is going to make the achieving that goal, because you chip away at the rock, just keep hitting that rock and eventually the rock will break. Like it's just little things. I mean, diet's definitely hard because that's there's an economic kind of side of that where it's like, oh man, maybe I can't afford a steak. I mean, Christ, steaks are like for a okay steak at any of the supermarkets, you're gonna be paying like upwards of 15, 17, almost $20 nowadays. I mean, but you can go to Taco Bell and get 4 things off of Taco Bell because it ain't cheap anymore. It's like you can spend $20 anywhere easy.
How do you feel about clone meat?
No.
Oh, okay.
Hard no.
Okay, well, but why?
Because that ain't right.
Why not?
It's not God's creation.
I mean, that's fair.
I mean, I can't. I mean, it's like lab meat. No.
I mean, you're wearing clothes though.
Yeah.
God didn't create clothes.
But he made the cotton that made this.
Yeah, God made the people that made the clone meat.
I
He
feel,
literally constructed the DNA to which that embryo was made
Yeah.
into, and grown into.
yeah. You can give me all the logic on this one. You can logically deconstruct this. I'm like, hard no.
Say whatever you want. My opinion is my opinion.
I do. I mean, I've been thinking about like clone meat, like that stuff. I mean, a beneficial side of it is, sure, there's a way we could potentially get it to like a lot of more like places that have, food, malnourishment and all that stuff. There's a way to maybe provide something, but it's just like, just because we can, should we?
Should we?
Should we? It's
Mm.
like, I mean, even like one of the things that really got me going to like a butcher shop, that really encouraged me to go to like your local butcher, is the ground beef.
Mm.
The ground beef in that tube at like Walmart, it's got maybe like 100+ different cows' meat in it, because they just throw all the cows in this one vat and like grind them up.
Oh,
It's
wow.
mass production.
Wow.
I mean, and I'm not saying that there's anything wrong or what, but it's just like getting that much genetic material from different stuff. It's like, what if one of them's got something that's not right? Maybe just go, like, best thing I want to do with my next property that I get, that's going to be like my, it's going to be my place, not like an investment property, is definitely getting like a big freezer, and I'm going to go to the local farmer, but get a cow, because you can make a cow last for almost like an entire year, like just having meat.
Oh,
Yeah,
a dead one. Okay.
yeah, and we'll have them like slaughter it and like
Okay.
do all the
I thought
processing.
you were gonna raise a cow.
I mean, people act like that's going to be so hard to raise a calf to a cow and then kill it. It's like, I mean, I'm not going to be like happy about it, but I'm going to be happy about being able to feed like me and my family. It's like, you have a purpose, young little one. Your purpose is to feed us.
There you go.
Like, my sister's got a pig, and I mean, she calls it like, its name's Goblin, but it's like its name's backup food. Like,
It's about to be goblin.
it's about to be gobbled up.
Mhm.
But man, I don't know. There's something just so weird about like kind of going away from, like, vegetables are great. I think there's some problems with like Monsanto and like the genetic modified stuff.
Yeah, of course.
And
Some of the genetically modified stuff.
yeah, I mean,
I think the only one that I've been okay with is like yellow rice.
Yeah.
It's like, oh yeah, vitamin D. Cool. People need that.
yeah. But I mean, it's also like, what's the downstream repercussions of it? Because I mean, everything's always changing. That's the one thing that the people that are like the big foodies and try to talk about stuff being, every like 10 years it flips. Like the sugar trans fat thing. There was the sugar like was getting blamed for a lot of the health issues, but then the people got bought out from the people that produce sugar. Not saying kids, because they have the primo sugar.
Yeah, they do.
Like,
They don't even produce sugar anymore.
well, it's like, yeah.
unfortunately.
So, but like all the sugar nowadays, they're like, yeah, this isn't everything. I mean, I've seen those breakdowns where people have like, guess how much sugar is in this loaf of bread? Well, I was like, okay, first off, who's eating a loaf of bread and in one sitting?
Right.
But I mean, like having the what's it I just lost my train of thought. With the bread and stuff, you look at it like how like
The nutrition facts.
the nutrition facts, you see how much per serving. Like, that's always what blows me away. Like, you eat like something, it's like, oh, this has 60 calories per serving. Like I think it was Cheez-Its or something, like one of those snacks.
Gosh.
It's like, you know how many servings are in a Cheez-It? Like 6 to 8 Cheez-Its.
Yeah, dude.
When the hell?
It's tough.
When have you eaten 6 to 8 Cheez-Its?
It's tough.
But I don't know. The biggest thing I feel like is just being able to do, like we were saying earlier, if you can just do the at-home workouts, top-notch mental toughness. I'm a person like you where it's like, I got to go to a place with a purpose. Like, I would in school, I would have to go to the library because this is the place of studying. So I study here. This, like, at home, I just, like, I can't have like our buddy Oz. He can go in there into his room and lay down in his bed and get a bunch of work done. Not me. The
That
bed
guy's
is
different though. He's a pilot.
Well, yeah. Did you know he was a pilot? Has he told you?
He's very humble about it. I actually had to guess.
I mean,
I had to read the room, and by read the room, I mean read the shirt that he wears.
or those are some nice aviators. Do you know anything about aviation? Man, just being around him, my Instagram reels have been like just loaded. Every time I hang out with him, I get a bunch of like pilot aviation memes, which go over my head.
Oh,
And it's just like one of the best ones was a guy was, sorry, Seabass. I don't know if the mics picked up that groan that you do.
Definitely did it.
I like.
But there's like little things that he's taught me about like how you talk to air traffic control in the plane and stuff. And there was one meme I got, and the pilot was talking to the ground control, and they were informing him, "Hey, just to let you know, there's army, some kind of military planes doing some exercises." And he joked around because they were getting really close, coming in fast. And the pilot just said, "All right, switching over to guns, too close for missiles." And he's flying a Cessna. Like it was like it's top notch pilot humor. Like I showed it to Oz, and he was dying. Like he was laughing his butt off, and I was like, "Yeah, I thought it was." Even I caught that. Like I thought it was hilarious. But I mean, it it's just so many things. But I mean, dude, that kind of lifestyle, I'm much more happy of being flown. I'm not a person that wants to fly.
You don't want to fly?
I mean, maybe a helicopter. I could maybe.
Why?
I just, you know, it's like some people are good at painting, some people are good at building decks. I'm not, so I'd rather pay someone that's good at it. Like I'm good at making music, so people pay me to do music,
Yeah,
and you know, it's kind of the trade-off. Like I'm cool with it, but
that's fair.
I mean, it's like it's you know, and it's not that I don't want. Like I had the arrogance and confidence to think I could land like a jetliner if like you know some terrorist attack happened on it and we took down the terrorists. And it's like, can anyone land this? It's like I can. It's like no, you can't, Jared.
No. If you put the headphones on, you can follow directions though.
Well, until they say flip the green switch, I'm like,
Yeah. No. In
fuck,
that
which
case.
one's the green switch?
Yeah. Speaking of you being colorblind,
There we go.
there's this. I invited you to this place one time called Activate, and you're uninvited. Like you can't come.
Oh no, why?
Because a lot of the games involve like colors.
This is the place where it's like kind of like it's like the challenges and stuff.
Yeah.
So you have to jump on all the green squares.
So there'll be like jump on the green squares.
That looked fun as shit.
It is. But this guy, there's
no, Jared, not that one.
there's progressive levels, and there's this game called zones. So the floor will light up blue, green, red, orange, white, and it's like jump on the green squares. And there's 3 of you, so there's only 3 green squares. And you've got 3 seconds to do it.
I just gotta go with my gut.
I probably just won't play that game, but yeah. Something like that.
I can't even be like, hey, just follow me.
Yeah, you can't.
You can't do that. Yeah.
You can't. So just know that there's a lot of games like that, and I'm just like, dang. Although I know Jared would love it here, he can't.
I'm willing to try.
The first time I went, there was 2 people that were colorblind, and they did okay.
Then that's pretty good. Yeah.
After I yelled at them enough.
It's the green one. It's the green one on the left.
No, it's another shade of gray.
That's right. That's how that went.
man.
That's
Yeah.
how that went.
I mean, and it's just it's you know something I live with. It's fine. It's like I mean, it's like I was saying earlier. Like I have trouble. Like I've asked strangers. I'm like, hey, are these bananas ripe or like how yellow are they? And they're like, what are you talking about? They're green as hell, dude. I'm like, thank you.
Thank you.
Which ones are not?
Dude, that's perfect. I see.
Or they even have like the chart at some of the produce stands now where the chart has where it's like hold up your banana and I'm like, fuck.
Mm-hmm.
It's like nope.
This doesn't help me.
It's like it's all the same.
It reminds me of Toph from Avatar: The Last Airbender.
Not blind.
I know you're not blind, but like
Colorblind.
those sort of jokes.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Exactly. When she's like, "Oh, it's over there," and they're like, "Where?" She's like,
Hey.
Yeah.
Yeah. The blind person was saying they saw it. Yeah. Oh my god.
like, imagine if you went around, and you're like, "Those colors on your outfit, I love those," and your friends would be like, "Oh, thanks, Jer," and you're like, "Ah," and you just go John Cena.
I'm using that now. I'm stealing that. That's classic. Like my girlfriend, like, you know, it's like when I get a girlfriend and she's like, "What do you think about this dress?" I'm like, "It is such. I love the different shades of gray.
Mm-hmm.
It's like it's not gray at all. Like
I love you.
I love you though."
Speaking of girlfriend,
Oh boy.
right? Came across a question the other day. I
Yeah.
don't have a girlfriend.
Yeah.
You don't have a girlfriend.
No.
You don't have a girlfriend.
Just 3 single
All
dudes
right.
or 2 single dudes and a banana just in a room talking.
And it was the question came up like, oh, if you're supposed to know, like it's a question that could help you determine if this is someone that you should stay with or break up with.
Ooh.
And the question was, if someone says, "Oh, You act just like your girlfriend. D- How do you take that? And I'm just like, oh dang. Like, there's definitely. I started running through exes in my mind, and I was like, oh dude, my last girlfriend. I don't think I that makes me actually feel uncomfortable. Super nice girl,
Yeah,
but
but
I
you
was
don't.
like,
You want to have some differentiation. You want to have something like, yeah, no, I mean, oof, my last girlfriend is like, she was a super sweet person and all, but it's like
there's some
there's
qualities,
some
bro.
qualities. I'm like,
I
yeah, I
don't
mean,
want to
if
be
I,
like that.
yeah, yeah, it's like we had great times, but it's like, yeah, no, there's some things I would change about you. Sure, yeah, I mean, and vice versa, but oh man, yeah, I just, I think I've seen the thing that bugs me is when you see people that, and I'm sure it happens to everybody
Mm-hmm.
at like the in the honeymoon stage, where they just, oh, I never seen you wear a cardigan before, man. Usually you're just a sweaty and like gym shorts guy, you know.
Mm-hmm.
It's like now you're wearing cardigans and you know these nice pants. I mean, good for you, but it's like what happened? It's like, oh no, my girlfriend picked them out for me. I was like, all right, cool. I mean, she's got some good fashion sense, but what? Like, it's like, is she trying to change you? Because then I thought she liked you for who you are.
Right? Yeah.
I just, oh, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know how to take that question. It's like you act just like your girlfriend. I was like,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, if she's a top-notch woman, which like, there's a lot of things about it, but it's like, yeah, just you want to have your own qualities that are separated. Like you want to be your whole person. She wants to be a whole person. You know, you're not trying to come together and just make something that's just like, oh, I'll put my 50, and we make a whole like relationship. It's like, no, it's like we need 200%. Like,
Mm-hmm.
especially with inflation these days. Good God.
Mm. Nice.
My dad was funny. He actually said, Jared, you need to find yourself a woman with two jobs. So that way you can stay a musician. I was like, thanks, Dad.
Yes.
God.
Yes. But tush.
My dad's got some zingers, man.
Goodness.
But I mean, man, it's just so funny because being like the one of the biggest things about this year that I'm really trying to do is, and me and Nico, we're working on some music projects together, and he used this term menu venue, which is just I'd never heard before actually, and because I just thought of a venue as just a place you play music at. Because I mean, I played at
Mhm.
Mexican restaurants, I played at coffee shops, I played at the Masquerade, I played at and then like when he said menu venue, just this light bulb went off my head. It's like yeah, we got to get out of those. Not that they're bad, like and it's like who doesn't like having like playing for 3 or 4 hours and you get a nice free meal, but it's like man, like it just felt weird.
Mm.
Like you want to go to a place that people are there just for music,
Mhm.
and I was just like, man, but it's like I get paid like pretty decent at some of these menu venues and stuff. Like the one I was playing at last night, great place. The crowd always gives a great response. Last night was no different, but then it's just something about when someone's walking by with a big old pizza and you're just like,
Mm.
gotta get me some of that, and then you're just like, man, what am I doing? What? Am I really doing the music thing? It's like, well, yes, Jared, yes, you
Mhm.
are.
Yeah, you are.
It's like, because I mean, the best part about some of those places is people are sitting there and they're there for a longer amount of time, so they get a better picture of like your abilities.
Exactly.
So versus if you're going like to festivals, which festivals obviously are great, but you can go around, you see 4 or 5 bands and within an hour, and it's just like, how do you make that deep connection with a band and stuff? And that's kind of some of the things I'm like, how do I build that kind of audience?
Mhm.
I mean, like we're not everyone can be as infectiously lovable as you are. Like I'm trying to like find that those qualities in myself that just make people want to connect.
Yeah.
But I feel like it's also you just got to not try. You just got to be whatever self you're going to be. And I mean, that's why you and me have been friends for so long. It's like we just like I can speak for how I feel about you as a friend. It's like bro, it's like Banana Man's never let me down.
Oh my.
He's always been an encouragement, and I mean, like telling my buddy Luke, because I texted him, it's like, hey man, like I haven't seen you. I want to hang out, maybe go to the gym or something. And he was like, dang it, I just told my wife I was going to go start to get back into the gym, and then you text me, and now I
Mm.
was trying to figure out a way, and we were working out, and like some songs came on, and I started dancing. It's like, oh, I need to go back and work out with Banana Man,
Mhm.
gotta get that juice going again. Like it's like, and then just that was one of the best parts about working out with you and stuff. Besides throwing up after the sled,
Oh, it was amazing.
year to the date, did the sled workout, threw up again.
Yeah.
I remember that was. awesome.
Amazing.
And it's just, man, like I feel like, and that's a good way to keep your pump. Like dance. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
you know, just, and people, it kind of disarms people. Like some people are in there, and no, and I don't mean to like take anyone out of their, if they're there to just like go to war. Like, I'm sorry, man, I'm just over here vibing. You go to your thing, and then like you flip on the switch and let's get some squats going.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, dancing in between sets, I think, is a secret that some people need to get turned on to.
Yeah.
Like, just even nothing crazy, nothing audacious. I saw one guy danced all over the gym, and it was a very small gym, and it was kind of obnoxious.
Yeah.
Like,
It can get there.
it
There's
got-
some people that like do laps around the gym,
yeah,
and it's like, listen, man, you're not wrong, but it's awkward
it's a little
to
awkward.
me.
It's like,
Awkward.
or and then like when you like this gentleman that was doing it, it was granted it was like 12:30, in the morning.
Oh.
It was like almost 1 o'clock. I'm in the gym to get my stair stepper in, trying to get my sweat on, and there's like 5 or 6 people, but this guy was like just going nuts, and I mean he was like he was doing like some step up, like kind of doing like just getting real into it, and.
Nice.
And then he looks at me like, "What you looking at?" I'm like, "A show."
There you
I'm
go.
looking at the performance, man. I mean, this is better than the podcast I'm listening to here. It's like,
Mhm.
but I don't. Dancing definitely is something I'm. When I had that moment with my buddy Luke in the gym, when I was like, "Oh, Banana Man, he's got the secret. It's just dance, have
It's
fun,
just-
live
it's-
life."
That's the thing, and I think a lot of people. I think people think that other people think about them more than they actually do.
Mm-hmm.
And I think we're actually not as important as we think that we are. And I think that's a great thing because if we were actually that important, I think the world would be a worse place. Like, like it's one thing to, invite people into your life and let them see you on a forum. But outside of this, yeah, no, people, they don't care that much. Hopefully.
Hopefully, right?
And then if they do care that much, what they think of you is none of your business.
Yeah.
And it's become such a weird sort of interaction with people at times to where, I go up to people and I will ask them random questions. A lot of the questions that I've come on here with and talked to you and Seabass about, I've asked to random people. And there are times to where people are like, hey, dude, that energy, like, keep it up. That's awesome. I initially thought you were going to come ask me a question and the person you were with was going to hold the camera and this was going to be
One
for
of them,
your
yeah.
social media things or whatever. But it's actually not. You just came here
Had
and
a
we
genuine
had a
person-to-person.
genuine conversation, and I appreciate that. And me being me, I'm like, oh crap, is that what's going on now? People are just we're just out here not having genuine conversations. We're just recording people and their responses.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
I mean, as I try to grow the podcast and all my other stuff, like social media wise, that's one thing I don't want to like bombard or like ambush somebody with like, hey man, do you want to spin the wheel or do this crazy other challenge? And then you're just like, hey man, get the camera on my face. It's, you're like, I'm not for it. It's some people's thing. If the girl's pretty enough, I'll probably do this challenge. Like if it's for her page, but. I'm still trying to find a play. I would love to. The one I take that back. The one that I would welcome is the guy that's outside the gym with like the pull-up bar. It's like, all right, and so it's like,
Yes.
for how much do you weigh? All right, like so if you can do 225, we'll give you $25 for every rep. I'm like,
I love that.
I'm tearing a peck.
I feel you.
We're doing it.
I'm on the same train.
I'm like, why is that guy never at my gym? But I mean, it's just people don't sit down and I mean. That's the one thing I do kind of miss about drinking in bars and stuff is I could just sit down. I would go there solo all the time, not to sound like a sad drunk, but it's like I would go there just because, in the life I live, people got jobs and stuff. So I'm in there on a Tuesday night. Maybe I was, got done recording or doing something. And I'm like, I just want to go out and be a little social. You can go to these bars and you can sit down, game on. It's like, hey man, who you rooting for? Like, oh, you from that place? The team you're rooting for? Oh yeah, you got family up there, and and then you can talk for like 30 minutes with somebody, and then they're just like, man, you're so cool, like connect. And I'm like, oh yeah. It's like it's weird how it can be that easy if you just like you said, you don't think of it as some big thing. You're not that important.
Mhm.
You can just relax, and there's been times people are like, yeah, you can tell they're like, oh, I'm just here to drink and get drunk by myself. I'm like, fair, no worries, man. Like no
Mhm.
worries, but it's just you try to do those kind of things, but Oh, the one question that you had earlier that you wanted to go is, it wasn't what are your goals for 2024? What did you learn from
Yeah,
2023?
what did you learn from 2023?
I learned a lot. One of the biggest and best things in 2023 that I learned is nobody is going to really be there to like not like no this bad way to start it. Like no one's going to actually be there to hold your hand.
Mm.
And like anything that you want to do, you got to just do it.
Mm-hmm.
You can't be afraid about it. Fear is and comparison and all that stuff is going to steal your joy. Like if you're into the stoic stuff, comparisons, thief of joy, all that. I learned that, and definitely getting a handle on like the substances consumption that I was dealing with is just, man, you can do so much. Like obviously, I want to go have a few drinks and go like spend my time, which is and that's the kind of the caveat I got. Is like your time is your most valuable asset.
Mm-hmm.
You, like the fact that you're here, willing to take a chunk of time out of the day to come have like a friendly conversation and do this with me, man. It's like it means so much to me. And then you forget some people just they'll just go spend their time just not even taking into account how valuable it is. So those are two big ones. The other big thing in 2023 that I learned is just you you make your own happiness.
Mm.
Like every time you get the flare up of anger or like frustration, if it just right before it explodes, where it gets over your like comprehension of what you can actually do with that energy, if you can just snatch that and take a breath and just say, hey, like we're gonna take this energy and we're not gonna let it go to a bad place. Like you can make your own happiness, and you know, being by myself a lot, it's like I love myself. Like I do genuinely love who I am and become, and I attribute that to my parents, my friends, and the people I've met through my life. But it's like you can make your own happiness, and you don't have to like have that standard to other people. I mean, cry. I mean, that and just go to church. Go like not just for like not only just for God, but like if I can just encourage people to go to a community,
Mm.
whether it's a church is my go-to because that's just what's worked for me. But getting involved with people in a similar like value system, hopefully a positive one. Gym's a great one. Like churches and gyms, get involved like with there, go in there and put some time in there, go there consistently, and see the other people that are going there consistently, and maybe you can find something. Because I mean, COVID definitely did a number on our like society, in a lot of ways, good, bad, and everything in between. But it really did feel like after getting people to go back out and be friendly again, where it's like, oh, there's another person within 6 feet of me. It's like they're not, if you're not over the age 65 and in bad health, they're probably not a threat generally.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, most people are out there just living their lives, so it's just like church, gym. I mean, if you're into cars, go do cars. Getting into pool with our buddy Will and
Yeah.
Freddie, being in the APA league. Great people I've met there. A lot of fun people. Like just finding some kind of community that you're not intimidated, or maybe you are intimidated. I'd never done a pool league before. I was garbage. I still am, but I have a great. Shut up, Steve Ass. Quit shaking your head. What, me being condescending? But like those are
Sorry,
like
my
that.
headphones are on.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Sorry, he can't hear us. His headphones are on. He's
Mm.
listening to the podcast,
Mm.
so he can't hear what we're saying. But yeah, I mean, those are like some of the big takeaways. There's tons more, man. I mean, this last year and a half, really, just I've learned so much about like my own independence and like self reliance, and just you know, like another great one. Before I let you do your side of it, is be your own best friend.
Mm.
If you make a promise to yourself, and like that was one of the best parts about like working out with you, when you and me made a plan to go work out. And it flipped a switch in my head. It's like, do not let Banana Man down. You said you were going to go. He's taking time out of his day to go. And if you treat yourself as that friend, it's like you made a promise to your friend, a.k.a. yourself, that you were going to go do this, that you were going to get this thing done. Don't let him down. Because what happens when you have a friend or someone that you want to be a better friend with, and you keep inviting them to stuff, and they keep flaking on you? Eventually, you're not going to invite him because it's like he flakes.
Mm-hmm.
So if you can take that mentality into yourself, like you will take leaps and strides in a positive direction, especially if you do that and you take the mentality once you get it down for yourself, put it into one of those communities that you can go into, don't let those people down. Like you won't let yourself down, and people gravitate towards that. Same way, like I said with you, like you've never let me down. Whenever you said you're going to do something, you came through. You know, so I mean that's my thing. But what about you? What was your like? Give me your like top five or however many like big takeaways like from 2023.
My biggest takeaway was that I'm the only person. Like, essentially, I'm my own worst enemy. There's no one else that can stop me. If I really wanted to do something, I could do it. And it's less about what I want to do and more about what God has for me to do. And to make that even to something like smaller, more manageable, it's just about being obedient to what He's saying. And I feel like I've used this analogy so many times in my life, but God blesses me. Like I know He does, but there's pool floaty in the ocean blessings, and then there's yacht on the ocean blessings. It's like either way, you're alive. I'm alive.
Your head's above water.
My head's above water, but there's the vulnerability. There's the abyss that I'm above. There's the me getting battered by storms. There's the me swallowing water. There's the no food. There's no drinkable water. And then there's me on a yacht. Storms don't matter. Drinking that water, boy, is sparkling.
It is crispy.
I got food. I'm good, and I had this safety and secure, but I can only get here when I'm moving in obedience. And so I was like, okay, yeah, I just need to be more obedient. And that came, like an element to that is, well, during the first part of the year, it's probably say like I probably was drinking for like 2 or 3 months last year, and I was like, all right, made a huge mistake, gonna stop drinking. And I stopped drinking, and I was like, I'll try it again in St. Kitts. Tried it again, St. Kitts. My family was like, you should stop. And I was like, all right, that's fair. That's fine. I can do that. But just seeing what that is, and then each time, it's always fun when I'm like, hey, God, should I do this? Like, let me know if this is all right. And pretty much every time I've done that, he's given me a very definite yes or no. And how he always, like, how the yes comes is like, he'll bless my family. Just like an immense blessing for my family. And I'm like, oh, okay. So you're not only telling me yes, but you're showing me that by doing this, it doesn't just bless me, it blesses my loved ones. I'm like, all right, cool. I can do that. And then another thing that I learned is, oh my gosh, how do I say this? Um, I'm more complex than I thought I was. I guess it's like I'm thinking like, okay, yeah, no, I can tell people about myself. I can tell people about like my inner workings and whatnot. How did I arrive at this? And like that'll just like sort of like it'll make sense. Like people will get me. And I found out like no, that's not the case at all. And I was like, oh, okay, well, I thought if I like gave them the steps on how I arrived at something that that could help them know me better. How I get to know people better is, it's like you look, you observe, you listen, and I guess like one of my metrics is like, oh, well, how well do I know this person is, can I then predict their behavior in given circumstances? And it's like, okay, well, how do you gather enough data to be able to see if you're able to predict what this person would do? Well, you start doing a bunch of random stuff around them, a bunch of random weird stuff around them, and then just see what they're going to do there. And then when they're put into other situations, you can be like, maybe they might do this. Like statistically speaking, like they will end up doing this. And turns out other people don't necessarily think that way. And it's like, well, that's cool, that's fine. But anyways, I guess long story short, after learning that, I just learned that. Like there's not like a now I'm gonna change anything. It's like okay, cool. So it's like even if I tell more about myself, that doesn't necessarily mean that someone else is gonna understand it. But now I'm on the verge to where it's like, okay, well, and I've started doing this with the people that are in my family, and then just random strangers that I meet that just happen to fall into this category. Like if somebody's married. So if somebody's married, I try to learn something from them. Or let me rephrase that. If I meet a person, I am trying to learn something from them. I'm trying to learn something from you, trying to learn something from Seabass. You could learn something from everybody. You can either learn what to do or what not to do. One of the things that I would like to happen in the future is to get married. So for the people that have been married for years and years and years, I'm like, hey, you got any advice on marriage? Anything. Whether finding the right person, staying married, anything like that, great. And they tell me, I've started taking notes. That's wonderful. If I meet someone that's been divorced several times, hey, you got any advice about marriage? And I just go in because you can learn again what to do, what not to do.
Experience is experience. Yeah.
Experience is experience no matter what. And so I've learned that, okay, I need to not just take it like that. I need to take it a step further. So now anybody who's a dad, I'm asking them. Anybody who's a mom, I'm asking them. Because I realized, like, at first I thought that, what's that song? Was it Made in Tokyo? I ain't got no type. Like, I thought I didn't have a type. And I was like, nah, I got a type. I got a type. If she could be like tall, like that'd be great. Like, but first of all, she's gotta love Jesus. Anyways, my point being is that there is a specific woman out there that I'm looking for. I don't necessarily think that she's just gonna walk up to me and be like, "Hey, what's up? God told me that I'm gonna be your wife."
That might be a beige flag for me.
That's right. Yeah. Because it's like, I love that. Thank you. I love that. Oh man,
His dad jokes are spot on today.
I love it. Oh,
Yeah.
dude, I'm here for it. I am here for it.
Yeah.
But in me finding that woman, it's like, okay, well, again, it's really just about collecting data. Like, what is what this person saying? What is what that person saying? What is something that I can live with? What is something that I can live without? What do I want this person to look like? What's something that it's like, oh man, like there are intangibles. There's things that, like, man, my wife must have this. And there's other things that I'm willing to compromise on. She doesn't have to be tall. She doesn't have to be 5'10". It would be great if she was 5'10". If my wife, like, looked like she could dunk on all of my friends, bro, like, that's hot. Like, I would love that. You know what I mean? Like, I want my friends to be like, bro, if I cannot play basketball with your wife because if she dunks on me, I'm gonna push her out the air, and then, like, now we're gonna have to fight. Like, that's what I would like to have, but not love to have, because you know what I'm saying?
I know what you
Like,
mean.
yeah, you get where I'm coming from.
Yeah.
There are certain things to where it's like, I'm willing to compromise on this.
Like, yeah. No, man. I mean, I get that 100%.
But I say, thanks for laughing, CMS. I appreciate that. But I say all that to say to really wrap up what I've learned is that the more you know, the more you don't know. The more I think that I've gained any sort of expertise or knowledge in something, the more I realize, like, I don't know, and I've got so much more to learn. And if I ever, like, I never want to miss an opportunity to learn something new. And even if I'm not necessarily learning something, or if I don't end up learning something new, I still need to approach it like something for the very first time, because otherwise I'm going to close myself off from a potential possibility to where I could either learn something or I could help somebody else. Like, I can't tell you the amount of times that I've quoted something that you've said or something that Seabass has said to somebody else, and they're like, that makes sense. And I'm like, yeah, dude, like, it does make sense. It made sense when they told it to me, you know? So just being able to take not only the wisdom that God gives me, but the wisdom that he puts in the people that are around me, then allows me to filter it out to other people. Like, that's probably my favorite thing that I've learned out of 2023.
Hell yeah, man. Well, shoot, man. It's definitely, like, 2024 is going to be a great year.
Even better.
Like, no matter what happens out of the things of our control, I know one of the things, or the multitude of things that I've learned that I can control, that's the secret sauce.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that's there's no other way to get around it. It's like, do it, or like we said, like, the more you know, you realize the more you don't know, and stuff like that. And not close yourself off to opportunities. You've, invited me to so many cool places that I was like, I don't know if that's my vibe. I'm like, who cares?
Mm-hmm.
How do you know if you've not been there? Like, how do you know you don't like sushi if you've never tried sushi?
That's the thing. I just made somebody do that like 2 days ago.
Oh, heck yeah.
Yeah.
Well, awesome, man. Well, I know you got places to be and banana things to do.
Mm-hmm.
So, like I said, man, always love having you on the show. Always feel free to come by and spread the love and knowledge that you got for us, brother.
I got you. It's a pleasure being here.
Huh? He's got a split.
I've got a split.
Come on, it's easy.
It was right there.
It's low-hanging fruit.
God, double down. Well, anyway, thank you for everyone that's watching the Strange Herd. We appreciate y'all coming out here. We appreciate Banana Man. 2024 is going to be a great year. Make good choices. Be good. And then, like I always say, stay strange, y'all. Stay strange. We'll see you next time.
Yeah.
All right.
Be good or don't get caught.
Be good or don't get caught. Be good or be good.